this video, I feel guided to discuss about karmic relationships and true love. The reason why relationships are very important because children, as we know, are the product of relationships. And true love seems to be something that is taboo. And I've firsthand witnessed many individuals in my family that are participating in karmic relationships simply because of impatience and low self-esteem. So karmic relationships, what it does is it gives us something to validate that we are a progressing human. And the individuals that I know that are participating and know that they're participating in karmic relationships, a relationship that is not of true love, they willingly want to deceive themselves that they are progressing in the union and progressing as a spiritual, physical, emotional, intellectual being. So it becomes a distraction. It becomes something of dishonesty. And I noticed a lot of karmic relationships, there are dishonesty. And right when one or the other partner wants to start being honest with themselves, that leads to the end of the relationship. Okay. Because one partner wants to continue the path of being dishonest, of being deceiving, and the other wants to go on a more authentic, more original, more creative, honest path. So for the indigo children, the rainbow children, the crystal children, people in my generation, you know, the millennials, and even those in the teenage years or the preteens and the kids, they have this very focused clarity when it comes to true love. I feel it energetically. And it gets confused when they're born to families of karmic relationships. They have this really clear idea of true love, of a partner, of a union that is emerging your spiritual essence, growing emotionally, mentally together, creativity, all about creativity. And then their parents, they look at the dynamic between their parents and they are just fulfilling the status quo. They're not working on getting their bodies healthy, meaning a lot of their bodies are really drained or filled with toxicities in food and chemicals that they use to get through the day. They're not working together to spiritually discover who they truly are, what they're truly here to do. And they're just got into the matrix pattern of deceiving themselves that they're progressing simply because they're climbing up the corporate ladder, or simply because they have this stability. A lot of successful relationships are based on the stability of it. Meaning both partners have a stable job, they have an income that is growing, they have the house, the living situation is very stable, it's predictable, there's a consistency, and that is what determines a union right now. But I feel us indigo children, light workers, all alike, doesn't matter what age you are, we are in our honesty, in our authenticity, asking ourselves a question, the tough questions. Do I feel free? Does this make me feel free? Do I feel creative? Do I feel like I can be myself? Does this person help me to truly soar and to uncover the depths of my capability? And if the answer is no, When we're being honest with ourselves and we look at that person, we know they're just kind of a distraction or just some sexual fun to kind of make our life feel good. We realize in this question, critically thinking about our life, that the humanness before the Dark Ages, even before Egypt, 10,000 years ago, a union was based on a growth. A union is of a growing together. It is participating in the cycle of life. We are like plants. We undergo seasons. And we're not really in our seasonal changes. We're kind of out of the flow with the moon cycles, with the energies in the planets and the zodiac signs. We're kind of not using the flow to our advantage. The plants use the cycles to their advantage. They fully actualize their moments of stillness, their moments of growth, their moments of withering away. They fully actualize it because they understand the process of growth. So I feel in relationships with true love, we're getting very distracted as the young people, very distracted in our alcohol. Alcohol seems to be a very common theme in the young people of America. Alcohol and sexual relationships. But true love, the union aspect of it, is a sacredcy of your solar plexus, because that's where your creative energy is. You're not going to allow somebody to come in your house and you've been working on this nice painting and just have them rip it up. It's saying that you don't have self-worth. If you allow somebody to do that, if you allow somebody to just run up and just tear all your artwork to pieces, you just go ahead, I do it, go do that. There's no self-love. So that's what we're doing with our sexual energy when we're having this almost pornographic, aggressive sexuality. And I would say to my children, do you love the person that you're having sex with? Because karmic relationships is not always about love. It can blossom into a form of love because we have this love with each other all the time. I mean, we're all connected, so we can grow into love with a partner we know off the get-go is not for our highest good, is not going to really challenge us, is not going to really help us to be the best person we can be, but we're rolling with it because we're impatient. We're women and we're getting older and we want kids. I feel that's a common theme amongst women, is I'm going to go for Billy Bob because I want to have a kid. And I'm 32 and I don't have a kid, and in order for me to be a successful woman, I need to have a kid by 32. For society to look at me as a success. So again, we're getting about validation from society. That is why we rush into these karmic relationships. That's why we get our energy entangled in this randomness. This disorganized friends and relationships that just confuse our head because we feel like we love them because we had sex with them. So the love hormone, I say, is released prematurely before you actually came to the conclusion of love in your spiritual body. So it confuses because the heart is saying the path of creativity is there, it's there. But then this rushness, need to rush to perform, it seems like, perform for society. The society isn't looking at you to perform. The society really wants you to find your true function. Your true function is not just to reach the status quo. Your truest function in the age of Lemurian Atlantis was your innovated, visionary, dreamer spirit is what Lemurians asked of you. What Lemurians were patient for you to discover. That's why I feel in Atlantis and Lemuria, we were more gentle with our kids in helping them to unlock their spiritual gifts, their dreams, their inventions, because we understood that with the cycle, the seasons we always cycle through, there is a natural flow to these awakenings, to these moments of contracting and going within, and these moments of blossoming, coming out, showing up for the world, making friends. And I feel with the current school system, we are not in the flow with the cosmos, meaning we could be in a point in the month, okay, a point in the month, like towards the end of the month, near the new moon, which is about relaxation. And in school, they're just rush, force more information. So that energy isn't really flowing as it could. But if the month, which is a lot of times based on the cycle of the feminine period, the new moon to the full moon cycling around, education being about the new moon representing a time for intentions, so setting your sights on learning a new information, and then the first part of the month about really focusing on that information, letting it kind of soak up in you, and then the second part of the month getting down more, initiating it, meaning practicing the knowledge. And then you get into another cycle, the third quarter of the month, kind of going out there and sharing the knowledge, meaning practicing with your friends, going out there and maybe in the community and learning about that particular knowledge from the community's perspective. And then the fourth quarter of the month about going within, okay, was I successful at that knowledge? Did I master that? Or do I need to set my new intention for the new moon to get further knowledge of that? That comes in the fourth part of the month. But the thing in the education system is not in that. It's just dump. Information, knowledge, And I feel kids are not entirely receptive to that way of educating, because kids are the most harmonious beings on the planet, because they are instantly in the flow of the cosmos, because all beings naturally are in the flow of the cosmos, of the planetary monthly rotation, until they start getting this arrhythmia. I like to say arrhythmia from their parents. They start going in their parents' arrhythmia with the natural monthly cycle that I mentioned about. Even with the signs that are shifting every 2 days, we can actualize each sign per these days just by getting in that flow. For example, today is Sagittarius, so I'm fully taking advantage of the Sagittarius energy by allowing my energy to be high, focusing on the more of the body. I've been feeling a lot of energy with the dancing and the singing and the expressing of my knowledge through that form, because that's what the energy Sagittarius is for. So with true love coming together, when we're not distracted in our karmic relationships, we can begin to focus on our growth individually and with our partner and with our kids, to help show our kids, okay, help them along in discovering themselves. Because relationship is, every relationship we have is we're discovering ourselves, but the true love that is this taboo, it's just like, that's not gonna happen, so just go for Billy Bob, because you're getting old and you need to have a child, and he makes money, so just go for him. We have a lot of that going on in this society, but it doesn't go anywhere, because the Lemurian Atlantis age was about innovative ideas constantly progressing into into new identities, new forms. Creativity was vast, it was endless, it was expressive. In karmic relationships, there isn't really creative expression at all. It's quite dull. It's quite doing the same thing again and again and again. Again and again. So, true love, it's going to require us to be patient and to clean up our lives and to really clear away these distractions, these relationships that we just get in because we want that feeling of a bond, we want that feeling of connection. But the thing is it really worth it? Because it's just a deception. You're having sex and you're just literally visualizing that person as your true love. But then when you open your eyes, after your eyes been closed, you realize, whoa, this isn't how I pictured my true love to be, the energy of my true love. But the thing is, a lot of times when we picture our true love, we visualize them, we even dream of them, we are connecting with their higher form. You could say fifth dimensional self. And for us to actually meet them, we have to kind of, meet them halfway. If we're super in our spiritual energy, fifth dimensional self, very much about self-love, self-worth, don't want to participate in random meaningless sex, and let's say our true love is deep in that, deep in the humanness of the distraction, we kind of can meet them halfway through our compassion, through our patience. Again, it always goes back to patience. It always does. What determines the relationship you will have in this lifetime, it has to do with your level of patience. And not just your level of patience, your ability to grow in your creativity, to set your sights high for yourself. Because that right there is like you're focused on that beautiful star is what's going to get you more of a straight line to this destiny instead of this wiggly, which is okay, we kind of bend and turn along, but there's some people that are doing some wide turns, okay? We can do a little snaky wiggly line towards our destiny, but that it really requires you to not bend or fold your vision, your dream of life, because you feel your partner wouldn't be receptive to that, wouldn't get it, there's no one out there for you that can collaborate with you on that creative deep level. And I'm telling you, if you've had a vision of yourself with this person doing something really creative, right on point with that star that you want to kind of pull that wisdom into this planet, it exists. And that vision is there, given to you by your higher self, by your guides, to help you, to guide you, to navigate you towards that. Because once you begin to truly believe in it, in that vision of you and your life partner doing some creative project, once you really start to believe it, then your decisions are going to be based more on you reaching greatness. And that is, I feel, not found in the karmic relationship. I don't see any karmic relationships that are reaching for greatness. A lot of them are in fear. They have fear of their job. They have fear of stepping outside of the norm and pursuing maybe something, because they feel like their partner maybe would feel uncomfortable with them pursuing and getting out of the pattern and pursuing life. And that's why I feel like there's a lot of divorce, because of that. One realizes they want to start being alive, humanness, and the other one is fearful and would rather just it be the consistency. So all relationships are showing us I'm just listening to the guides. The guides are like talking to me right now. It's like the guides are saying, there's like a lot of things they're saying. It's like every relationship that we have, karmic, particularly majority are experiencing karmic relationships. It is showing us ooh, yeah, there's a lot of messages. I'm like trying to understand. It's like my mind is just like bombarded with like, woo, a download of just so much at once. It's quite overwhelming. It's showing us in what way are we out of rhythm with our most authentic, honest, organic self. I feel like that is the only way I can truly explain that energy I feel was communicating to me. This is a very expansive energy dynamic that unfolds in the lessons and the wisdom with a karmic relationship. It shows you in what ways you are out of the flow with your sacred heart, your most authentic energy, and also with your oversoul, your tribal energy. Because I'm just seeing like this tribal sphere, and I feel this represents the oversoul. And I feel what really connects us with this oversoul is almost like a giant sun. What connects us with this oversoul is the uniqueness that isn't a lot of times embraced. And the thing is, the uniqueness, it gets dulled when we just participate in just random relationships, and we're not really following that star that feels really true to us, but we're just looking at all the other stars and just going for whatever one is closest. But that star it's connecting us to our oversoul. I feel like we're all kind of connecting with all kinds of oversouls that aren't really us. When I mean oversoul, karmic relationships, individuals that aren't soul family, that we are not of a tribe with, because I believe we all are one, but I do feel we have a tribal team that we incarnate with since the beginning of our cycles on Earth, and before Lemuria, Atlantis period, hundreds, thousands of years ago. And we are marked with them. It's like they are us and we are them. It's like the oversoul can represent me, not just me, but imagine 12 individuals, and each 12 is me. It's kind of, I could see them as my past life selves or future life selves, and then they, a male or female, could look at me and see me as a future or past life self. So when we're connecting with our tribal energy, that's when we know we've gotten to the point of remembering our unique signature. And that requires us to get away all this debris, because we forced ourselves for many lifetimes in the Dark Ages to literally write a signature that isn't our most authentic signature, that doesn't connect us with our oversoul, through our helplessness, through our impatience. We've literally designed our life to match a signature that isn't true to us. So in our relationships over lifetimes, we've forgotten what our actual original signature looks like, because it's like we've relearned entirely new alphabet, entirely new way to write, and we don't know how to express our most original soul family tribal signature that we all share. But when we get back to that, then we'll start, I feel, experiencing true love. And true love is going to expand beyond just a partner, a relationship. It's going to very much match like the Native American, the tribal energy. The tribal energy, I feel each tribe represented an oversoul in that particular lifetime, because Native American was a very short time period. It wasn't thousands and thousands of years. I feel like it was relatively a short experience, spontaneous. It was like a spontaneous blossom. It was unexpected. It wasn't like it was planned, we're gonna have Native Americans. It's just you plopped oversouls in regions in North America, and oversoul soul family being so energetically powerful that they blossomed the Native American culture. And that wasn't really predicted, it wasn't really expected, but that's what happens when you put your team together in the same space. So that is what the future is going to hold for us once we can remember our unique energy. And we'll find it only through the decision of, I don't want to participate in just meaningless sex, just random relationships, unless it really feels like it's opening my heart to another level. I mean, we can be friends and go out and have a good time, but asking yourself, is it distracting me? Do I feel my heart expanding? Because your body will tell you when you've met your soul family. You'll feel this immense, undescribable feeling of, whoa, this is intense. This person really opens me up and gets me to see my life differently. My mind and my heart, my whole embodiment is just been blown open. I had no idea about that was about me. Meaning our soul family shows us, the very embodiment shows us ourself. You look at them and you're just like, whoa, I was totally this person, the way they are in a previous life. Totally this person. Very, very similar to this person, their energy, their humanitarianism, maybe their Virgo energy. It could be anything. And we'll be raising children more in the environment of this creative energy, like the Native Americans in North America. And that right there is going to be the start of the new earth frequency. The new earth frequency, it does start with individuals coming together in a true love, coming together with their original signature, finding their original signature, and then meeting John over there. Oh my God, you have the same signature. Your name is different. You write John and I say Rosa, but we have the exact same signature. And that is going to take us to know our own signature, to know our own niche, our own uniqueness, have clarity of where we've been, past lives, and where we're going in future lives. We don't need to know as like the details of past lives and the dimensions of our essence, but just to feel it in our heart. And it's always going to just be about really love. And how do you express love? Because your soul family will express love not the exact same way, but the energy of them expressing, it's going to match the same as you. So you may be very much like me, Native American singer, and your soul family, he or she may be totally just out in nature studying plants, studying carbon in trees. But the love, the energy, even though they're different activities, they're different forms of expression, is very much the same. Because I do believe there's a vast amount of frequencies, infinite configurations of light. I feel like there are even infinite shades of the rainbow color, from red, infinite orange infinite, yellow infinite, and you represent one of those infinites, not just you, but your soul family. One of those infinite configurations of color. And when you find an individual that has that same shade, let's say of part of that rainbow, tie-dye color or something, you can see it's tie-dye shirt, they have the same sort of energy, the blues and the yellows, but it's complementary to you. It's not the exact, it's like a complementary energy. Because again, I don't feel like we're all meant to just be the embodiment of, we're like the rainbow, but I feel with our soul family, they represent the more expanded version of the rainbow spectrum. And when we come together, they seem to be deeply compatible with our unique kind of tie-dye shirt. It doesn't form disharmony. It folds, connects, just effortlessly. So it's hard for me to describe this, because it's an energy. It's an energy of love, and the way we express it, the way we sing and dance, just like Native Americans, the way they sing is pretty similar. If you listen to the songs, they're kind of similar, but they each tribe has a unique signature and a unique tone. It's like the rainbow. We're all rainbows, but we express that rainbow. The way the colors come together and bleed together is unique. So I'm a rainbow, but the way they bleed together, the colors, is very different from my mom's rainbow. Energy, light. When we're not physical, we're just like light. And then the big rainbow, you can imagine as a spherical rainbow, even imagine as a zodiac sign, is our oversoul. Our oversoul. And that rainbow of itself is where all of our soul family, our tribe, is pulling creative energy from. Creative, innovative, dreamy, visionary stuff from. So that's why I feel we feel this profound connection with soul family. When we really get to know them and it feels right, and a lot of times we even look like we have a similar ethnicity with them, is because of this whole oversoul. Wherever we go, our oversoul goes with us, because we're kind of connected to them. It's like we're kind of going along. Where our oversoul goes, we go, and not just us, all of the soul family that's connected to that giant rainbow sphere kind of flocks with us. But we all have these wide variety of experiences on a mega spectrum, mega broad spectrum. Because, like the rainbow, it is very broad. And having souls in the soul family connected to the oversoul in these different spectrums of experience, when they sleep or meditate and connect with that oversoul, that most organic signature, that most original presence that we experience a lot in Atlantis and Lemuria, we are sending literally information like a satellite out. And the soul family, if we want to receive like just wisdom, we can download from that giant sphere called our oversoul that is with us, always with us. It's like above our head. It's above our head. And it's easy for us to connect with that if we ever need earthly information. Because the oversoul, I do feel it goes with us, the planet too. Meaning, if we are on Earth, I feel our oversoul, soul family, or tribal energy is going to be on Earth with us. Not all of them. Some of them will be as spirit guides. Some of them will be as angels in a light body frequency. Because again, the spectrum is vast, from light being, angel, to human. It's still participating in the Earth frequency. And I do believe, though, that with it comes to ETs and celestial beings, because I do know that there's a child that wants to be born for me that is like some ET that I never energetically felt before. My whole existence on Earth wants to be a child, and I feel he's kind of like coming forward, that energy, and discussing about the emergence. The emergence. It's like the tribe where you go through this ritual that bonds you together. Not just bonds you for that life, but for... And it's not a karmic bond. It is a bond of emerging the soul's energy, emerging your essence into that big oversoul sphere, and becoming one with that person or that group. And I feel with celestial beings, I feel there is emergence process for those who are a part of your spherical soul family. I like to imagine a sphere, but they're at like outer rings. Like the outer rings represent like when you think of outer rings, you think of distance going further out, the rings, inner, outer, like going further out. So I feel we have this earthly spherical oversoul, our soul family, our tribal energy that we connect with when we remember our uniqueness that we did in Lemuria and Atlantis. Remember who we are amongst the confusion and the distraction and the matrix of this is who you are. We decide who we are, and it's not based on this is who you are, society. We connect with that oversoul, and there are rings around it, and those represent our soul family energy that is in the galactic kind of spectrum, and then out of that is even a further out galactic spectrum. And I feel sometimes there are beings who may be in the further out rings that are part of our soul family, but it doesn't feel like it because they are living on a totally different system, totally different energy makeup, totally different incarnational cycles on planet Orion. But that being wants to come to Earth. They cycle through, not cycle, they kind of move through the energies. They emerge with each ring, which can represent each planetary system. It meant like 12th dimension going 11th, 5th, onward to the 5th dimension that we're getting towards now. There's this process of emerging with each of those dimensions. So 12th could be an Orion being merging through the 11th dimension, which could be a planet of Pleiades, merging with that energy, and continues to merge with all these energies. Emerging is essence, is learning from that particular ring, learning, understanding from that compassion from that ring all the way down. It's not even like down, it's like through the spectrum. I see spectrum as a vertical line, not as a climbing down or climbing up. It's more of a spectrum. You're moving through each spectrum. You need to emerge, understand, compassion, interpret, to kind of move across a vast amount of energy, like the reds all the way to the purples. There's a vast amount of learning. You need to study to get to the purple, because each of the reds and the oranges and the yellows all the way to the purples, there's knowledge in each that gets you to the next color. It's kind of like a prerequisite. Like, to get to purple, you have to really understand, let's say, green. It's like a prerequisite. And to understand green, if you're kind of going through that spectrum from purple to green, you need to understand the purple to really master the green, because the rainbow works together. The light colors are organized for a reason. It's kind of like the dimensions. Red can represent the more fifth, I feel it's fifth frequency, and the purples can represent Octorian frequency, which is like 11th frequency. So to get to those frequencies, you have to understand the ones in between, like 3D. We have to understand 3D before we can get to 5D, and 3D is about mastering your human body. And 5D is taking the human body and expressing it in a spiritual form. But we can't get to 5D without understanding 3D. It's a prerequisite for 5D living. Okay, so with this alien buddy that wants to be born, or wants to be a part of your soul family tribe, they're merging with your Earth oversoul. Earth oversoul. The rings represent the different dimensions, like Orion galactic system, Octorian galactic system. You have some friends, soul family on Taurus, or Pleiades, or Lyra. There's a vast amount of planets. So they emerge, they learn from each of these dimensions, these colors in the spectrum, and they get to Earth. And they get to Earth. And what they do is, the word emerge, I keep saying emerge, because they merge with that oversoul. I like to see it as a spherical, and they can be a part of the oversoul frequency. They already are the soul family tribal, it's just they've been on the outer rings. Just like Neptune and Jupiter are a part of our solar system, the Milky Way. They're in the Milky Way, they're just in the outer rings. They participate in a different, totally different reality, because it's colder, it's not much light than we do, but they're still a part of our solar system. And just like the Milky Way, the solar systems over there, that next to our Milky Way, are still a part of our galaxy, which is like the bigger energy, that covers a vast amount of experiences. That, imagine like the soul, oversoul, that's even more expanded than the spherical, just connected to Earth tribal beings. It connects with vast amount of space, vast amount of planets. So it is possible for a celestial being to be born to you and you really don't understand them, and it could be a part of your soul family because they're trying to study Earth. And again, they're coming from a totally different makeup, so it may feel like they're not soul family, but it's only because of they absorbed a lot of energy from the planet, from the dimension that they've been on for many, many lifetimes or many aeons. So they're born to you and you're like, whoa, this child is different energy, but it feels the resonance. There's a deep heart awakening from it. It's because that soul wants to participate in the Earth soul family. The soul family. Again, it's like rings. Each ring represents the expansion, the expanded version of the oversoul. Oversoul rings expanding. Like you have a solar system and a galaxy. Solar system can represent the tribe on Earth, meaning those individuals that have an earthly essence that you connect with, and the galaxy can represent this soul family that is on Orion's planets or Pleiades or Arcturus. Totally different reality. On a spectrum, way over there spectrum. You're here on Earth spectrum with your soul, your oversoul, and they're over there in the Omega oversoul, but way over there doing something else. We're vastly different. So, I don't know, I just felt like sharing that down loud. It was quite kind of difficult download to express about the oversoul and the Omega oversoul and the kind of crossing, moving through the spectrum from 5th to 11th or 11th to 5th. But the overall, I feel like that was given to me because this is the makeup of true love, the makeup of a tribe connected with your oversoul is the future for planet Earth. It was in Atlantis and Lemuria, and it will be again, because we are ready to share, we are ready to collaborate. Darkness Age was just about being by yourself, and there wasn't really any collaboration, there wasn't any sharing at all. But now, whenever we're ready to share, whenever we're ready to collaborate, create, be innovative, be dreamy, be environmentalists, be humanitarians, we always are brought back with our soul tribe, always our true love, when we want to be truly creative, truly innovative. And that means we can't be drunk, we can't be high, we can't be having meaningless sex, because that just kills your creative energy. So when you really want to be creative, when you really want to share, collaborate, grow, because grow is creative, collaborate and share, that's what growth is. You're going to find your soul family, but only if you are really truly wanting it, meaning you're honest about it. You're not just saying that, you're kind of deceiving yourself. You're saying you want creativity, but then every action, every decision is killing your creativity. You're not coming from a place of love. Only a place of love really determines where we are really at in our intentions. A place of love, a place of freedom, a place of faith, a place of patience really tells the universe and ourselves, are we really honest with wanting to be creative and pursue our greatest life partner, our greatest dream? Or are we just kind of deceiving ourselves because our actions, decisions are not good for us? So, I hope you guys enjoyed this expansive video. I know it's a little long, but okay, bye.